Hello everybody, my name is Askaroff and I run the sew-a-lot.com site, and I also write the Sewing Machine Pioneer series and the On the Road series on Amazon. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is the 1930 Singer Model 15. Now, what happened was, by the 1930s, Singer, the 15K had been out for decades, so every major manufacturing company in the world, whether it is Pfaff or Jones or Frist and Rossmann, they made a copy. In fact, the Model 15 is the most widely copied sewing machine of all time, and amazingly they even make it today in India and Asia. You can still buy a brand new treadle hand and electric 15K style machine. But in the 1930s, why would you pay £20 for one of these, or £25 with a motor, £5 extra motor, when you could buy something much cheaper? And this is where the sales technique in the shops all around the world, they were trained to sell these machines and to sell quality, because what you're buying with the Singer is the very top quality. You weren't buying a machine just for you, you were buying it for you, the family, your children, your children's children, and that's why you would pay that sort of money. Now remember, £20 doesn't sound like a lot, but in 1930 to some people that was half their year's wages, and they would have bought a machine like this over 5, 10, 15 years or more. It was that expensive. Now, interestingly, if you have a look at the decals on this, you'll see the wings, which are very similar to the Royal Air Force. By the 1930s, the Royal Air Force had become the most glamorous of all the armed forces. The Brill Cream boys with their tailored officers' jackets, and the women as well, with their sweetheart badges, and they were all with the Golden Eagle, the wings across like that. And Singer, who was so good at representing the mood of the period, you know, if you remember, look at back when Tutankhamun was discovered, you know, right now in 1922, they made everything Egyptian, didn't they? All their machines had fantastic Egyptian hieroglyphics and gold work. So here we're representing the armed forces. And so here we have a 1930s Singer Model 15. And why would you pay £20 for it when you can get a much cheaper one? This is where the demonstrations go. So you go into the shop, and there was usually the wife with the husband. The husband didn't want to spend any money, he didn't want to spend more than he had to. So how do you make him buy it? So you demonstrate it and you make him buy the machine. You start off with a bit of paper, okay, something thin, and you run it through the machine. So it will sew a cobweb, okay, it will sew nothing. Then you start getting some nice heavy bit of leather, not just kid glove leather or soft leather. You get a nice bit of heavy leather, and you immediately chuck that through the machine. And how does that go? Oh, it goes through it, no problem at all. Then you get a bit of stretchy something. Yeah, nice bit of stretchy stuff. Oh, it's going through perfectly. Then you get a normal bit of, you know, a bit of everyday cotton. This is the sort of fabric that everybody's going to sew. Let's do a bit of denim next. And a bit of hard denim, not your soft denim, a bit of hard workman's denim. And will it go through that? Oh, it will go through layers of that, even when I get it caught in the foot. So here we go, layer and layer. And then we get through the women's nightmare, the heading tape. Everybody hates heading tape. Let's bung it through 10 layers of heading tape. And amazingly, this is with a standard needle. We haven't adjusted any tension, and it's just going through it. So now the husbands are starting to realise this is pretty impressive. This is why you're paying the extra money. So now what they did in the shops, in the Singer shops, is they get hold of a baked bean tin and they started to cut it up. Now you got the husband's attention. So you start cutting up the baked bean tin, and you sort of think, no, you're not going to try and sew that, are you? You're not going to try and sew a tin. So you flatten it out, and you think, are you really going to put that through the machine? let's have a go. Flatten it out and see if it will stitch that. So now we're going to stitch a bit of steel. And amazingly, it has just stitched straight through that. So you've just stitched a piece of steel, a tin can, layers of fabric down to paper. And that's what the husbands were buying. They were buying reliability. And when you saw what this machine did, you realised you were buying the best from the biggest factory in the world in Kilbowie in Clydebank. And I hope you enjoyed that. Just sewing through a sheet of steel. Bye for now.